Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our 2.0 webinar series. My name is Rachel Imbrogno, and I'm joined today by two of my very good friends and wine experts, Giulia Reintjes and Jimmy Bruton. They are the brand managers of the canned wines, and today we're going to speak about Bollicini and iHeart. So welcome, Giulia and Jimmy. So nice to have you with me.
It's lovely to be here,
Thank you for having us.
I'm going to start with Jimmy. Jimmy, tell us a little bit about the popularity of the canned wines in the U.S. market.
Sure thing, Rach. Well, I mean, I'd definitely start by saying the beauty of any canned wine is you do not need to be a wine expert to try and get into this and dabble with it. So the whole thing about canned wine is it's very, very casual. As a category, it was kind of like early 2000s. I mean, canned wine has been around since the 70s, but it was early 2000 that there was a kind of resurgence, and brands like Sophia were pushing hard. And then the canned wines have sort of dropped off, and it's really the last 3 or 4 years that canned wines have seemed to have come back into fashion. And obviously, as we're all out there, we're seeing the growth of hard seltzers has really helped bring just cans as a format really into the limelight. So for canned wine, it's all about convenience. So the usage occasion is very much driven towards outdoor. So, you know, we always talk about pools, camping, beach, tailgating, out on the boat, anything that's to do picnicking. So anything really that's outdoors. You know, cans are hip. They're quite female focused. So it's about 70% female, 30% male, very millennial focused. It's all about convenience. The recyclability is a nice story about cans. So without getting stuck in the numbers, but basically top line, about 55% of cans are recycled versus about 30% of bottles. So there's a nice eco footprint story there. But basically top line, cans and canned wines are really doing well. So the growth in Nielsen's massive. For us with Bollicini, we were ahead of that curve. We've been around a little bit longer than quite a few brands out there, but it's a great business to be in and a great set to be talking about.
Definitely, and they're so cute and adorable. The size is convenient and easy and portable for everywhere. But Giulia, let's start with the Bollicini. Tell me a little bit about this brand.
Okay, so Bollicini, first of all, I don't know if everyone knows this already, but Bollicini in Italian means small bubble. So in Italian, whenever we add ini, whenever we add ini at the end of like a word or an adjective, it always makes that same word something small. So these are like small little bubbles.
So Rachel would be Rachelini, meaning a little Rachel. So Bollicini, little bubble. Correct? Okay, like it.
And what better name than Bollicini for like these cute little cans that have these little bubbles also as part of the packaging. So Bollicini as the brand was initially launched as a prosecco. So we also have a prosecco in a bottle for Bollicini. But as the cans were starting to gain popularity, we're like, we need to be ahead of the curve. We need to have a sparkling wine in a can also. And that's how the idea of Bollicini sparkling wine in a can came to become this beautiful product that we have. When talking about our Bollicini white, the sparkling cuvee, I have some chilled here. These are a blend of Trebbiano, Pinot Bianco, Chardonnay, and Glera. So these are all white grapes that go into this wine. And the taste profile is gonna be very refreshing, very crisp, and maybe even have some notes that you can find in proseccos because of the Glera. And all of these grapes come from the Veneto region, so the same region from which Prosecco comes from. What is so great about these cans and the packaging of Bollicini in general is that it has the tasting notes on the back of the can right here, and it also gives you some suggestions on where to enjoy this this bubbly. So a lot of outdoors activities where glass is not allowed, where you can just pack these cans and bring them along with you in your purse, and they're so easy. You can just drink them from the can, and that's actually how it's recommended to be enjoyed, directly from the can. You don't need to pour it into a glass. So let's taste some of it.
I'll taste some more. I already opened mine.
So it's super refreshing. The bubbles are very nice. There's some apple flavors, a little bit of pear, but all very fruity and refreshing. So cheers to the first Bollicini.
Cheers to the blue Bollicini. Delicious.
Yeah, I'm going to now move on to rosé. So just as Jules is saying, and actually of the two SKUs, the cuvée is slightly outselling the rosé, which has been a change for us. So in the past, the rosé was kind of the biggest item. Now that it's the cuvée that's marching ahead, but both brands are doing very, very well for us. So the brands, doing extremely well this year. I think a lot of that is to do, we've definitely embraced COVID and the take-home opportunity, and so that's been really good. So I'm going to try the sparkling rosé.
And the sparkling rosé is also from the grapes are sourced from the Veneto. Is that right?
Yes, so Veneto region again. So it's 3 grapes that go into the rosé. So it's a Trebbiano, Pinot Nero, and Lambrusco. So yeah, if you know, I think we all know where Veneto is. So top right-hand corner of Italy. That's a little bit about Lambrusco. That's actually where we can the product in Emilia-Romagna. So yeah, so Veneto, this is kind of the spiritual home for the sparkling rosé. But if you taste this one, yeah, this is definitely rosé all day kind of taste profile. So light, strawberries, red berries, crisp and fragrant. So I think this one pairs, beautifully with most sparkling rosés that go great with seafood. So grilled seafood, salads, vegetables. Yeah, I mean, I think this is this is breakfast wine. It's really can be drunk all day.
Yeah, there's a lot of strawberry, raspberry flavors. It's delicious. Talk a little bit about the POS that's available for this brand. I was in the office yesterday and picked myself up a couple pair of these with some merch, some great Bollicini socks. These are adorable.
So I mean, the main effort for Bollicini is the off-premise and always has been. So we've got some great block and tackle materials for the off-premise. So whether it's case cards, cardboard racks, shelf talkers, and then we've got a few fun items for the on-premise. So floaties and these ice buckets. I think the ice buckets have been so popular, we're now already out of stock. So I hope those that are out there are using them. But as I say, it's historically been very much an off-premise driven brand, and that will, kind of remain the same. But there have been, some great successes with pool bars and on-premise accounts that have outdoor areas that you can make the most of cans outside.
And Jules, the floaty, how many cans does it fit? Just a single?
These ones are for a single can, and they fit perfectly. And actually, for 4th of July, I was lucky enough to be enjoying a pool. And we had these going around in the pool, and everyone loved them. And it was just like you had your drink, and the drink was floating away, and you had to go and grab it. But it was just perfect to have your drink in the pool and not have to hold it and warm it with your hand. So and they're so adorable with all these like the little colored bubbles.
Perfect. Speaking of the red, let's move on to my favorite one, the Lambrusco. This is an interesting varietal. And people don't know. So Giulia, since you are our native Italian, tell us about the Lambrusco.
So Lambrusco comes from Emilia-Romagna, and this one specifically comes from Modena. And the Donelli who is canning this for us gets the juice from a winery called Jacobazzi, and Jacobazzi is like the Lambrusco producer. Like if you say Jacobazzi in Italy, like everyone knows it's the Lambrusco. Like everyone loves that. That's you only buy that one pretty much. So we have like the best juice in here, and Lambrusco is just like your everyday red. I mean, back when I was in Italy, and I still do it here sometimes, we have pizza every week, and with pizza, there is no better pairing than Lambrusco. And this Bollicini Lambrusco is just delicious, is refreshing, is bubbly, but also has those like nice flavors and body that a red wine has. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. So let me open mine. Ooh.
Actually, it says semi-sweet.
So Jules, and this is a little bit lower in alcohol than the rest of the range, correct?
Yes. So Lambrusco is typically a little bit lower in alcohol, so that it makes it a lot more enjoyable, especially in the summer. And it's meant to be enjoyed a little cold. So while most reds you can drink them at room temperature, Lambrusco I would always recommend to put it in a fridge for like at least an hour, or an ice for like 10-15 minutes, so that it cools down a little bit, and it's just like super refreshing and super delicious. So I mean, they can't get better than that. And I mean, these cans, these Bollicini cans, are so adorable. They're beautiful. They're super cute, and we're seeing a lot of people just like taking pictures and posting them on Instagram as like the perfect Instagram pose, because they're like a great accessory, a great thing to just share to show how cool people are, like you are. So
cheers. No, I totally agree.
Cheers.
So in fact, yeah, we definitely find with the Bollicini Instagram account, please do follow it. But you'll see, you know, and again, it's the millennials, they love the colors of Bollicini. So kind of it's a marketeer's dream to have that brand in the hand moment. But these cans just look great, and they look fantastic in photo shoots. So, you know, please do take your own photos, and sharing is caring. So we'd love to see those on Instagram. But yeah, as Jules said, you know, the Lambrusco particularly, Pete's, this has done really well for us with take home, with pizzas. I know some people in the comments here are talking about barbecue, absolutely wonderful. So yeah, the barbecue goes great, hamburgers. You'll notice on the Bollicini can on the back there, rather than the usage occasions talking about camping and beach, we've actually got some food pairings. So cold cuts, pizza, barbecue, cheese, fruits, dessert. So we're kind of trying to make it as easy for people to just chill it, open the can and drink it. So super, super simple.
Really good with barbecue, right, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's delish. So I think any of the red meats go really great with the Lambrusco.
Fantastic. I know Lambrusco was very popular when I was little. It's often we refer to it as grandma juice, but this is not your grandma's grape juice. This is delicious. I love it, and honestly, out of the three, this is my favorite.
So other kind of fun facts about Bollicini and things that I think really help us, you know, differentiate ourselves from the competition. So, you know, this is Italian. It is imported. You know, we're doing some fun tweaks to the packaging. That's basically we're calling that dialing up the Italianness. So you'll see on the can, we're going to add a little Italian flag, and we're basically going to just modify the names slightly to make it a little bit easier. So the sparkling cuvee will just become known as white, and the rosé will just be known as rosé. So they'll both be sparkling wines from Italy. So, but the 4-packs, and we'll be sharing this all with you very soon, but the 4-packs are going to become much more Italian. So you'll see the Italian flag on the 4-packs. And I think this is kind of what we want to do, is really differentiate ourselves from nearly all of the cans that are out there that are domestic wine. So the fact that it's Italian, the fact that it's sparkling, are the things that we really want to talk about, and they really make us stand out from the crowd. So in the Nielsen world, we are basically the top sparkling wine in a can. Overall brands, we're about number 5 in the can in the Nielsen world. So the brand is really high up there, but there's still loads of opportunities for us.
And also the case pack is switching from 48 to 24.
Yeah, absolutely. So that the switch to 24 is happening right now. So that's with the current packaging. Everything going out now from Italy is in a 24 pack. So hopefully everyone's aware of that. The only exceptions to that are H-E-B in Texas and Safeway in California, but everybody else is moving to the 24 pack. When we shift to the new packaging, that'll all stay in the 24 pack. But just to be clear, the UPC staying the same, the SCC staying the same. So there's no changes in terms of, you know, the specs. It's just a graphic change. But I think it's a great opportunity to kind of hopefully, you know, talk about Bollicini to your distributors and ask them to speak to retailers, etc. So this is kind of, you know, it's a good opportunity for us to shout from the hilltops as much as possible.
Definitely. All right, cool. So let's move on. Let's move over to the iHeart, which are 2 beautiful wines as well. And tell me, what's the point of making another canned wine? Why do you have this iHeart brand?
Okay, so I'll start out on this before Jules is going to open and taste. So iHeart, the brand was launched in the UK back in 2011. And the inspiration actually for the packaging was the iHeart New York logo. So we all know the I Love New York.
Yeah, the personal connection too.
Yeah, and the inspiration basically has all been about it's kind of born from a consumer market insight that not everyone's a wine expert, and and a lot of people don't want to be wine experts, but they just want to be able to confidently select a varietal and choose a brand. So, but the brand in the UK, bearing in mind it's only launched 9 years ago, has become a mega brand. So it's a top 10 wine brand in the UK now. It started out as a Prosecco, so iHeart Prosecco. It's actually now the number 2 Prosecco in the UK after Tesco's Prosecco. So Tesco's is a huge supermarket in the UK. So, you know, in terms of kind of brand value in the UK, it's up there with Heineken. So it's a massive, massive brand. We launched it here in the US last year. As a canned wine and as a still canned wine to make it different from obviously our Bollicini. But the idea is it's kind of, you know, bright, fun, really easy, and similar to Bollicini in the sense there are, you know, the tasting notes are on the can. All you need to do is, you know, chill it and open it and drink it. So kind of demystifying the wine world to some extent.
And both of these are from different regions. So Julia, tell us about the specifics of the Pinot Grigio, please, and then the Rosé.
Yes. So as Jimmy was saying, iHeart was born like as a concept, as a brand idea, like coming from like the consumer inside. And what is really fun and cool about iHeart is that it's not a winery. They can source the wine from wherever they want, and so what they do is they go pick the wine from the region that is like super famous for that wine and does the best in class wine. So what we have here is rosé from France, because there's French rosés are just the best that you can find, and Pinot Grigio from Italy, and specifically. Our Pinot Grigio comes from Sicily, so the South Island in Italy, and this is a slightly different Pinot Grigio than what you can find in a different taste profile from what you can find in like the Friuli or the Northeast Pinot Grigios. It's a lot more fruity. It's a lot more round and easy to drink. While the northern Pinot Grigios, the Friuli and the Veneto ones have a lot more minerality into them. And the rosé coming from France, it comes from a wine region called Occitanie, which is the red region that you can see in the French map, which is right next to Provence. So there's a lot of Provence influence in this wine, and it really just tastes like Provence rosé wine from France. So as Jimmy was saying, the taste profiles are on the can, and very easily the rosé, it says it's fresh and fruity, absolutely super fruity, like a lot of red fruits, but also has some delicate notes of strawberry and wild roses. So those pink red flavors that just come out. And as Jimmy is showing, the color of the wine, he poured it into a glass just to show the color of the wine. It's just the very light, blush, beautiful color for the rosé. And then when talking about the Pinot Grigio, so this is of course 100% Pinot Grigio. It comes from Sicily, and here it's going to be very fresh and crisp, and it has notes of golden apple and white peach. So super refreshing, very easy to drink and enjoy. And again, cans are so convenient. You can bring them with you anywhere you go. They're chilled super fast. Like the aluminum of the can chills a lot faster than having a bottle. And when there's the size of the can is a 250 ml, again, helps with it chilling a lot faster than a big bottle of wine. So cheers.
Cheers again. It's also nice that we have two wines represented from southern regions, because a lot of our brands are Tuscany and North. So now we have the Pinot Grigio from Sicily and this rosé from the south of France. So it's nice that we are able to talk about southern regions as well. And in the rosé, what's the blend of this one? I didn't catch it.
I think it's Chesnut and Syrah. And I apologize for my pronunciation of the Chesnut grape. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But so it has the red grape that gives the color and a little bit of the red fruit flavor in it.
Mm-hmm. And the Syrah gives a little bit of snap, which is delicious too.
Exactly, yes.
Great.
But I mean, I do think for all of these, Rach, is just, you know, the best thing we can do with any of these cans is get them into the hands of the distributors, the distributor sales force, get them to open them and try them. The liquid's fantastic. You know, that's the testament for these. So I would say, you know, for iHeart, we launched it last year. It was, you know, a quiet launch. I think we want to come back more this year and try and dial it up a little bit. So we're planning to basically work with 6 or 7 markets in the next few months to see if we can kind of reignite iHeart a little bit. So we're seeing some great shoots of growth in New York, in Texas, in Connecticut. Other markets, I think, you know, we're probably just starting out. So, you know, we don't have a lot of POS for these brands, but it'll really be, you know, off-premise and, you know, some fun block and tackle POS items. So a little bit like Bollicini, we've got a nice case racks, we've got case cards, we've got shelf talkers. But, you know, the pricing strategy is the same as Bollicini. So really, this is just the still version versus the Bollicini with bubbles.
Beautiful. I love it. They're both fantastic.
Yeah, but I think, you know, yeah, overall for cans, you know, the story that we're definitely telling is, you know, the can category is on fire. It's all about convenience. It's about occasion. It's this, you know, outdoors, which is obviously very on trend right now. So everything outdoors. So, you know, as we keep saying, picnics, tailgating, pool party, you know, beach. This is, you know, the can category is on fire. So, you know, we just really want to try and make sure we're one of the brands chosen for all of those can moments.
And these are also great for your virtual baby shower with gender reveal parties. You can have you know, the can sent to the guest in advance, and you know, to guess the color, and then to reveal which color you're going to have, the boy or the girl. And
I love it, Rach.
Here.
There's some good comments here, which I think Rich Storney just said, and absolutely true. So, you know, make the most of these canned cocktails that are out there. That you know, we know the cans are on fire across all segments. So if there's stacks of canned cocktails, if there's stacks of alcoholic seltzers, you know, the canned wine should sit right next to them. And it's kind of this grab and go opportunities that are out there at the moment, you know. So I just be great for you all to kind of put a bit of pressure on our distributors and make sure they know the pricing for these items, try and get samples into their hands, and just encourage them to open and try the liquid, and they'll have a lot of confidence for selling these, because the liquids are spectacular on all of them and the packaging is really bright and fun, and that's really it. It's pretty simple.
The wine over delivers for the price. Thank you. Thank you both, Julia, Jimmy. So nice to spend a half an hour with you and discussing the canned wine industry.
It's lovely to have a bit of face wine with everybody and open up a few cans and start the weekend off with a few of our wonderful Cantastic products.
It's true. This is great. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks for
Thank you, everyone.